Japan has one of the lowest cancer rates in the entire developed world, and scientists have been trying to figure out why for decades. The average Japanese person lives longer, stays healthier longer, and gets cancer far less frequently than people in most other countries. And the answer is not genetics. We know this because Japanese people who move to Western countries and adopt a Western lifestyle start getting cancer at the same rates as everyone else. So, something in their daily habits, something they do every single morning, is protecting them at a cellular level. Today I am going to show you exactly what that habit is, what the latest peer-reviewed science says about why it works, and how you can start doing it tomorrow morning. Stay until the end because most people in the West are doing this completely wrong, and doing it the wrong way means you are getting almost none of the benefits. Let's start with what the science actually says about Japan and cancer. A 23-year global study published in the International Journal of Epidemiology tracked 139 countries and created something called a traditional Japanese diet score. Researchers found that greater adherence to the traditional Japanese diet, which includes rice, fish, soybeans, vegetables, eggs, and seaweed, was negatively associated with both cancer incidence and cancer mortality across all nations studied over more than 2 decades, leading scientists to conclude that well-balanced eating habits like the traditional Japanese diet can suppress cancer worldwide. And research published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that Japan's remarkably low mortality rates from heart disease and certain cancers are thought to reflect the low prevalence of obesity, low intake of red meat, and high intakes of fish, plant foods like soybeans, and non-sugar sweetened beverages like green tea. Notice that last part, non-sugar sweetened beverages like green tea. That is what we are talking about today. That is the morning habit. But not just any green tea, something far more powerful. Matcha is a specific form of Japanese green tea that has been consumed in Japan for over 900 years. And what makes it completely different from the green tea bag you find at your local supermarket is how it is grown and how it is consumed. Regular green tea is brewed. You steep the leaves in water, then throw the leaves away. You are essentially drinking a watered-down version of the plant. Matcha is made from shade-grown tea leaves that are stone ground into a fine powder. And when you drink matcha, you are consuming the entire leaf, every single compound, every antioxidant, every cancer-fighting molecule that the plant contains. This means matcha delivers the nutritional equivalent of drinking approximately 10 cups of regular green tea in a single serving. The concentration of its active compounds is extraordinary. Now, let us talk about the science, because this is where it gets truly remarkable. The key compound inside matcha is called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, and it is one of the most studied natural molecules in cancer research today. The latest research from 2024 and 2025 positions EGCG as a major player in cancer prevention, therapy enhancement, and overall wellness. Its molecular structure equips it to neutralize harmful free radicals, protect DNA from damage, and regulate several cellular processes, actions that are critical when it comes to stopping cancer in its tracks. But here is what makes EGCG truly special compared to almost anything else in the natural world. Unlike many synthetic drugs, EGCG operates on multiple levels without harming healthy cells, earning it a reputation as a gentle but powerful ally in disease prevention. Think about that for a moment. It targets cancer cells while leaving your healthy cells completely untouched. Let me explain exactly how EGCG does this, because understanding the mechanism is what makes this so compelling. There are 3 primary ways this compound attacks cancer inside your body. First, it triggers something called apoptosis. EGCG selectively induces apoptosis, which is programmed cell death, targeting cancer cells without damaging healthy tissue. In simple terms, it tells cancer cells to self-destruct. Your body actually has a built-in self-destruct mechanism for damaged and dangerous cells, and EGCG activates that mechanism specifically in cancer cells. Second, it cuts off the tumor's food supply. EGCG interferes with the formation of new blood vessels that tumors rely on to grow and spread, a process called anti-angiogenesis. A tumor cannot grow beyond a tiny size without building new blood vessels to feed itself. EGCG blocks that construction. The tumor literally starves. Third, And this is the part that directly connects to DNA repair after 50. EGCG interacts with one of the most important proteins in the human body. A groundbreaking study published in Nature Communications by researchers at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, supported by multiple grants from the National Institutes of Health, discovered something that shocked the cancer research community. An antioxidant found in green tea may increase levels of p53, a natural anti-cancer protein known as the guardian of the genome for its ability to repair DNA damage or destroy cancerous cells. The lead researcher described p53 as arguably the most important protein in human cancer. Here is why that matters so much specifically for people over 50. p53 has several well-known anti-cancer functions, including halting cell growth to allow for DNA repair, activating DNA repair, and initiating programmed cell death if DNA damage cannot be repaired. As we age, our DNA accumulates damage. Every single day, your DNA is being hit by free radicals, environmental toxins, UV radiation, and the simple byproducts of cellular metabolism. After 50, your body's ability to repair this damage naturally starts to slow down. That is why cancer risk increases so dramatically with age. And EGCG, the compound packed inside every cup of matcha, directly boosts the protein responsible for repairing that damage. Mutations in p53 are found in over 50% of human cancers, which tells you just how central this protein is to cancer prevention. Now, let us talk about what multiple epidemiological studies have found in actual human populations, because laboratory results are one thing, but real-world evidence is what truly matters. Multiple epidemiological studies and meta-analyses have found that higher and consistent green tea consumption reduces cancer risk, and green tea is believed to have anti-cancer properties, including antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects, inhibition of cancer cell growth and proliferation, inhibition of new blood vessel growth, reduction of cancer cell migration and invasion, and activation of programmed cell death. And a patient cohort study examining Japanese food intake found that pre-treatment intake of Japanese foods such as soybean products and seaweed may have favorable effects on patient survival of stomach and colorectal cancer. This is not a fringe theory. This is mainstream cancer research published in respected peer-reviewed journals. Here is something else worth understanding about chronic inflammation, because it directly connects to why this morning habit matters so much. Chronic inflammation is now understood to be one of the root drivers of cancer progression. It creates the environment inside your body where cancer cells can survive, multiply, and spread. Antioxidants in matcha help reduce inflammation by neutralizing the free radicals we are exposed to day to day, thereby lowering the risk of cancer development in general. And EGCG has been shown to inhibit the growth of cancer cells by interrupting signals needed for tumor growth, and it may trigger programmed cell death in cancerous cells while leaving healthy cells completely untouched. Every morning that you drink matcha, you are actively reducing the inflammatory environment that cancer needs to thrive. Now I need to tell you the single most important thing in this entire video, because this is where most people outside Japan get it completely wrong and lose almost all of the benefits. The quality of your matcha matters enormously. There is a massive difference between ceremonial-grade Japanese matcha and the cheap green powder sold in supermarkets or mixed into sweet lattes at coffee chains. Those products often contain very little actual EGCG. They are frequently blended with fillers, and some cheaper versions from certain regions have been found to contain heavy metal contamination. You want ceremonial-grade matcha sourced specifically from Japan. Regions like Uji in Kyoto, Nishio in Aichi, or Yame in Fukuoka are considered the gold standard. The powder should be a vibrant, bright green color. Dull, yellowish, or brownish matcha has been oxidized and has lost most of its beneficial compounds. The preparation method also matters. Here is how the Japanese actually do it, and how you should do it every morning. You sift about 1 teaspoon, roughly 2 grams, of ceremonial-grade matcha powder into a bowl or cup to break up any clumps. You then add a small amount of hot water, and this is critical. The water should be hot, but not boiling. Boiling water destroys EGCG. Ideal temperature is between 70 and 80 degrees Celsius, or about 160 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. You then whisk it briskly in a zigzag motion using a traditional bamboo whisk called a chasen until it is fully dissolved and has a light froth on top. You can then add more warm water or warm plant-based milk if you prefer a latte style. Do not add sugar. Sugar feeds inflammation, the very thing you are trying to fight. If you need sweetness, a small amount of raw honey is acceptable. The optimal time to drink it is within the first hour of waking, before you eat, on a relatively empty stomach. This maximizes the absorption of EGCG into your bloodstream. 1 cup per day is sufficient to begin receiving benefits, though research suggests that 2 cups daily provides even stronger protective effects. And consistency is everything here. This is not a supplement you take for 2 weeks and expect miracles. The Japanese have been doing this every single morning for centuries. The protective effects build over time, accumulating in your body, steadily reducing inflammation, steadily repairing DNA damage, steadily making your cellular environment hostile to cancer. This is a lifetime habit, not a quick fix. One final thing worth mentioning. While matcha is the centerpiece of this Japanese morning habit, it does not exist in isolation. The broader research on Japanese longevity consistently points to a combination of factors: small portion sizes, a diet rich in fish, fermented foods like miso and natto, seaweed, and minimal processed food intake. But if there is one single thing you take away from this video and implement starting tomorrow morning, make it the matcha ritual. The science behind it is among the most compelling in all of nutritional cancer research. A 2025 review confirmed that EGCG is being actively studied not just for prevention, but for enhancing conventional cancer treatments. And in some trials, cancer patients who took EGCG alongside chemotherapy experienced better outcomes and fewer side effects. The ancient Japanese morning habit and modern cancer science are pointing at exactly the same thing, and it all starts with a simple bowl of bright green tea every single morning before the rest of the world wakes up.